It is Friday night, PTO Friday for some of us, and we jumping into the weekend, man. I'm your man, Damon Cunningham, aka Dave D, NYDC. And we look, it's two mics up, man. Friday night, Mic'd Up Mayhem with my brother, my man, my partner, Big A, Sam Adams. Bro, what's good with you this Friday?
Well, you know, as always,
Uh-oh, think we lost you for a second. Think we blacked out on Sam. Sam went into the Matrix. But while Sam is getting, oh, there we go. I think we back.
am I with the Gremlins right now?
Yeah. It's Friday, bro. It's okay. It's all good. Oh,
Oh,
think I
but
lost.
I'm totally wonderful. I can't complain. Glorious Friday, no issues.
Hey, look, that's the best part. It's Friday, no issues, man, and we got a pretty jam packed show. We coming back, every other week on a Friday, just to kind of change up the mood, change things up, and there's been a lot of good and bad going on in the news, I guess, if you will, lately. And one of the things that you and I, we were talking about as we were, I guess, building up to tonight's conversation, uh, it's Coachella and Fyre Fest 2 and all of these different events and Coachella, happened. And I don't think a lot happened from a lot of the things that I heard and I read and a lot of the disgruntled folks. But I'm gonna let you open up, Sam, and talk about your view of Coachella and Fyre Fest and kind of what's taking place with these festivals over the last couple of years.
Well, I think it's just a case of um, supply and demand. When you look at
Mm,
these events,
hmm.
you know that you're going to have like a significant amount of people coming through.
Right.
As far as like the venue and everything. So I think when it comes just to the timeliness and preparing of these events, things are kind of getting to the and greed is out there too because I mean you
Huh.
look at the prices of water, food, you know, just like your necessities for items, they sit here and they jack the prices like sky high too.
Bruh.
I think the biggest issue with that they were talking about with Coachella this year is just like the space, the time it took to get from one point to another,
Right.
how backlog traffic was, you know, getting into these spots.
Yep.
So, you know, once again, it's just like, when are we going to sit here? You know, you want to make it as comfortable as the space as possible, you
Right.
know, and especially for the money that you're spending out there and everything too.
For real.
And that's another subject by itself. Like you look at a lot of these concerts, whether it's Taylor Swift, Beyonce, whoever the case may be, and you look at the rise of ticket prices, um,
Bananas. That's
and I know the
look, that's your
experiences
mortgage,
there, but
bro.
are you
That's
really getting your
crazy.
money's worth?
Yeah, you putting your mortgage out there, man.
Yeah, basically.
It's crazy. Like you said, because I saw some of the, let's say, the low end packages. I mean, they was
Yeah,
upwards of $1,000, and I'm like, okay, so you want me to spend $1,000 to sit in the parking lot, basically.
yeah,
And by the time I get a space or get to the venue, I've missed maybe most of the lineup, or I might have missed some artists or things that I was hoping or planning on seeing, and that never took place. So it's just very tiresome and very wearisome on people. And I want to bring to the stage, we have a guest that's joining us tonight, on tonight's segment of Mic'd Up Mayhem, Mr. Ron Morrison. Ron, what's happening, brother? How you doing this
Hey,
evening?
hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Hey man,
I'm
take
I'm
uh,
doing well. How y'all doing today?
man, we
what's
good,
going
man.
on,
Look,
bro? Ham?
What's going on with you, bro? How you doing?
You know, another day, another dollar. Like I said, another glorious Friday.
Oh, for sure, man. I want to
look.
thank y'all for inviting me on here. I appreciate it.
Hey man, it's nothing but love, man. And look, we gonna clear the room for you because we was talking about it's PTO Friday for some of us. And since you joining us, man, take a moment, introduce yourself, man, your platform, what you doing, man, and proud and a pleasure to have you here with us tonight.
Yes, my name is Ron Morrison. I am one of the co-hosts of Let Me Talk podcast. We are a wrestling podcast. We talk about wrestling, but we also talk about everything: anime, comics, music, current events. relationship stuff, whatever comes up, but we mostly focus on wrestling. I don't know what else.
Hey, look, I ain't mean to put you on the spot, Ron. You know what I'm saying? But look, I wanted to give you some time to shine and really, just introduce you, man, to our audience, man. Welcome. I look forward to being able to, we continue to work, man, cross platform, man, and just have some good conversation and just enjoy the night. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. Same here. Same here.
All
I'm
right,
ready.
well, we were talking about Coachella. We had opened up with Coachella and Fyre Fest and all of these different events now, and just really trying to get a take, man. Like one, we're Sam and I at the point now, like, is it even worth it now? To really go to there. Go ahead, give us your piece of action on that.
Me personally, I'm not doing it. I wouldn't go to it. I wouldn't trust it. I mean, you wild for giving it a second chance. I mean, I get why they would try to do it again. I mean, that it's a popular topic, but it's
Mhm.
also for all the wrong reasons. And to try
Right,
to capitalize off of that fame that they got from it, I don't know if I would want to go. I don't think they even should do it.
right.
Uh, if they do it, hopefully it's not as bad as it was the first time around.
Well, I mean, Fyre Fest for one, I don't even know why anybody would want to even invest in that. We kind of seen what went on with that. You got me one time, but you're not gonna get me twice. Coachella is just a whole nother beast. It's had a pretty strong run, but it just seems like over the years, the last couple of years, like Sam was saying, like I can't understand the money that people are paying to basically now sit in a parking lot and
Yeah,
spend most of your time, missing everything. And like you said, Sam, the pricing, Beyonce, I mean, it's a mortgage. It's a house note. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see why people. I mean, well, I shouldn't say I don't see why. I understand why people love Beyonce and you love certain artists, but at what point do we, as a community, say, "Hey, look, this is enough"? Like when does that point come, and when does that kick in? And do you have any take on that? I start with you saying, like, when do we draw the line?
me.
Oh, I was going with Sam, but go ahead, Ron, because I don't know if Sam heard me, but go ahead, Ron, you can start.
No, I heard you. I was confused to like which one you were referring
Oh,
to as well.
I thought I said Sam. I guess y'all didn't hear me, but go
Yeah, my
ahead,
bad,
Ron,
my bad.
jump in there.
Um,
I'm not. Go
I
ahead,
think
Sam.
it's a catch 22 because
Mhm.
of course if it's somebody that's popular that, or if it's a fan fave that you have, of course you're going to go out there and see them and everything. And I know that we talk about the experience and everything that goes along with a lot of this stuff too, but at the same time the question is like, is the experience worth putting in, or putting out a small business loan just for a few hours to deal with the congestion, confusion, busyness, and the crowds and everything.
Right,
Um, I just wish that they would sit here and make it a little bit more viable for other personnel.
right.
A lot of people don't have like 2, 3 racks to spend on one concert and everything.
Okay.
But like we said, it's the supply and demand that's out there for these concerts that's driving that price up too. So I
Yeah.
think we need to have some type of happy medium with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Happy medium is me staying at home, but Ron, your take.
Yeah, I'm not spending a small business loan to see nobody.
Yeah.
Especially all I get out of it is like, yo, I was there and I got some pictures. I ain't meet none of the artists. I ain't. Nah, I'm okay. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it. I feel like a lot of people are going to want to spend that money because it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something great for social media. Like, ooh, look where I'm at, and you
Yeah.
get some likes and views from it. But that's all you get. Some
Yeah.
people, the influencers out there, of course, they're going to get paid big money from being there. But just little old me, nah, I gotta eat next month. I
Yeah,
gotta feed my
you feel me?
kids.
That part. I wish I would tell my wife I went out here and I spent it. Them days is long gone. I mean, Sam, the saint came and went. And those days are over.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Spending money like water, when you got bills to pay and you got family to take care of. So it is definitely, I think, played out at this point. and I hope everybody to learn and grow. Cliff, what's happening, bro?
What
Appreciate
it do,
you
Cliff?
joining us, man. Thanks,
Cliff.
thanks for joining us. So look, so there were some other things that we wanted to talk about that really are specific to Ron joining us tonight, and we're looking at this spectacular weekend of WrestleMania 41. Now I'm going to turn it over to the professional, and I'm gonna let him kick us off as we really look at this card or cards plural for this weekend. So Ron, I'm going to turn it over, man, and I'm going to let you drive the vehicle right now, brother, and give us a feel and low flow of what it looks like on Let Me Talk. You know what I'm saying? And introduce that to Two Mics Up fam.
All right. So Let Me Talk podcast, as I said, is a wrestling podcast that I'm a co-host of. And so far, if we're being honest, we are not excited for WrestleMania whatsoever. So lackluster. It's just it's I'm like, I don't want to say it's because I'm getting older or whatever, because a good story is a good story.
Right.
But it's just so much that's just nah, like some things feel rushed. Like for example, one of the things that we personally feel like is just kind of thrown in there is Reigns versus Punk's versus Rollins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three amazing superstars. Actually, well, I won't bring up the Roman Reigns situation, but three three amazing stars, three, big egos, all of that good stuff. They all have issues with each other. So on paper it should work.
Mhm.
I just personally feel like because it just happened, so y'all are in a three-way,
Right.
you kinda there's no real story there. Personally, I'd rather you just take your time and let all of them get their frustrations out with each other in singles matches and then bring them in for a three-way, like maybe at SummerSlam or something like that. Like,
Correct.
that would be great.
Mm.
It would have been cool, like I said, had they actually took the time to build all three of these people up together. Like, there's been separate issues with all of them. They all have beef with each other, so we get it. It's just now it's like, we need to fill some matches three-way. It kind of feels like that. One of the matches that we are excited about is Naomi versus Jade.
Look, I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking forward to that one.
That match as like somebody said this is probably the best feud in women's wrestling history, and I'm trying to think, and like they not wrong. Like as far as the build is concerned, like they're not wrong. I don't know if I'll say it's the best. Maybe one top three. I can't tell you what top two is, but at least top three. They're it's a great build. Naomi has been destroying
Destroying
Jade on social
everybody.
media.
Yeah,
I don't
she
know
a
if y'all
beast.
seen the tweets.
She a beast, man.
Hey, she been giving her that verbal warfare, not just lyrically, but like their Twitter beef is bonkers right now.
Yeah.
It is. Like
It-
personally, if I'm Jade, we just gotta throw hands for real at this point. Forget waiting. Like, yo, you killing me right now.
it's real. It's real. I look. I haven't watched wrestling much over the last couple of years, but as we, Sam and I have been talking for a while about it, and so I started paying attention, and like that that beef is real. It's really coming across. It's real. They sold me on that, and just the energy from both of them. It really just makes me want to see. I just want to see these two women go out here, and really, I think that's going. I think they might steal the show. When I look at this card, right? Like, and just being out, like somebody who's still relatively somewhat a novice, if you will, with today's wrestlers, they to me stand out far and wide above everybody else. And then, like I said, some of the underwhelming stuff kind of understand, John Cena's coming back, playing the heel role, trying to kind of breathe some life back into a career that I think most of us would agree. Just stay in Hollywood, bro. Just like keep making movies and keep doing what you're doing. So watching it is like, to me, this is just very underwhelming. It doesn't spark any interest in me for the weekend. And I'm trying to find outside of the ladies match. I'm trying to find the energy in it, and I really don't see it. And I'm just curious, Sam, like, anything that stands out for you or anything that you're looking forward to?
I mean, it's tough. We were talking about it early. Like, I feel a lot of the matches are because they've been happening for so much. You look at the War Raiders and New Day. That's something that's fairly new. Or Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano,
Which is
aka
wild.
Chad Gable.
Right.
I mean, even Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. Like, these are matches that we've seen over the course leading up to WrestleMania. So like
Mm-hmm.
the hype card, to me, it affects the hype card because
Gotcha.
we've seen a lot of this stuff so much. So I don't know if it's because the talent is stretched thin because of the releases that they've had since moving or even prior to moving over to Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
versus some of the talent that they even just sitting here burying. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem too. I just feel that the card could be a whole lot stronger than what it is. Um, and I think that's like one of the main reasons like it's been so hard to sell this WrestleMania too, just because of all the recycled verbiage or even matches that we've been seeing over this time. So
So let me ask you fellas then. So with the landscape of wrestling, because I mean there was that boom at one point where we're talking about WCW, WWE. Now we've got TNT, AEW, all of these other different branches of wrestling. Has it become a thing? Because like you talked about the talent, and Sam,
yeah.
like, has it become so oversaturated to where there used to be a time where WCW and WWE had the grandest talent, but now it seems like it's flattening out, like you said. And has the market just become so saturated that it's not even appealing now for people to even not only watch, but even to follow a brand or a chain anymore? And I'll let you go ahead, Ron, because I see you nodding your head.
Um, I don't know if I would say it's over. I don't wouldn't say it's necessarily oversaturated. I just think we have easy access to see so many different things.
Okay.
Like back in the day, like you mentioned, was WWE and WCW. Those were your two. New Japan existed, but unless you was like out there in these streets getting tapes from people who might have watched it from somewhere else, you're not really knowing who these people are like that.
Right.
Right. You might catch an indie show here and there, but mostly you had two choices: WWE, WCW, and they also made it engaging because it's like, yeah, we want y'all next. So they had beef, they had real war, so you was invested. Everything worked out well. It was like you chose which one that you wanted to rock with.
Mm-hmm.
Now because of social media and just how easily accessible everything is, it makes it not necessarily that you have to pick one to stand with. I mean, don't get me wrong, people gonna have their favorites. You're gonna always have WWE diehards. You have a lot of what like me and my friends call the indie darlings, people who love the indie wrestlers. I'm somebody who love indie wrestling. Granted, I wouldn't consider New Japan an indie thing because it's a
Mm-hmm.
major company, but people would consider it indie, and I love New Japan as far as wrestling is concerned. It's beautiful over there, but like you're gonna have your favorites. You're gonna pick who you're gonna pick, but with social media, knowing things behind the scenes and all of that other stuff, you don't have to necessarily pick one. You just kind of rock with a superstar and you support that superstar. You know, at
I feel
least
you
that's
on
how
that.
it is. And I want to welcome my co-host Clutch.
What's up, Clutch? What's good?
Gentlemen, apologies for the delay. Wi-Fi acting like it's on its own timing. So again, I apologize, but it's a pleasure to meet you guys.
Same here,
Pleasure to meet
brother,
you too,
man.
Clutch.
I'm glad you can
Good,
make it,
good.
man. Look, it's better to be here in one piece than in pieces. So we take the delay. You know what I'm saying? So
No, I
take a
agree.
moment. Take
No,
a minute.
I
Introduce
appreciate
yourself.
it. I appreciate it. My name is Clutch. I know the co-host of the Let Me Talk podcast with the good brother Ron Morrison, aka Blicky Anderson. Bang, bang, bang. I've been a wrestling fan since God knows forever. So more or less, it's always just been something that's been my happy place. You know, the world has been crazy as it seems. So I think we all have that one happy place. So to those that say, you know, wrestling's fake, don't you? Listen, it may be fake, but it's my happy place. So yeet. But other than that, I love coaching basketball. I'm a basketball coach. I make candles, as you can see on the tag name under the Candle Clutch. So I'm just out here trying to make it in New York City. That's all it is. Dialing the dream.
All right, what's up, man? Yo? Shout out to New York, back home. All right, that's what's up. What kind of candles we got, man? What we burning on?
Right now, I'm actually getting into making sprays. I've
Okay.
definitely been getting into making sprays so far. So I'm just now expanding my portfolio, what it is. I'm still trying to get everything on the ground up. But, you know, we're working there. We're just taking our time doing everything as we can. But right now I'm just experimenting with everything. So next is sprays and candle molds. I'm just trying to just expand my palette before we get there.
Okay. Well, if you got somebody that'll buy, man. I love candles. So, man, we exchange some information before we get off the air, man. I'll be a supporter, man. Love to help support, man.
I appreciate it.
Man, we see we can get some, man. We throw them up here, man, and we'll go ahead and see if we can get some people to buy your joint, man. Support the culture, support the community, man. That's what we all about here. 1, 2 mics up. So we were talking about WrestleMania. Oh, definitely, man. Nothing but love here, bro. WrestleMania 41. We were talking about it. And you know, we talking about some of the matches, highs, lows. What's some of your highlights and lowlights that you see, you know, looking at the card this week? Because I think we all agree, Sam and I and Ron, I think we agree it's kind of underwhelming this year. So what are your takes on what we're looking at this weekend? Yeah, I'm talking candle clutch, Uso.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry. I'm having a delay on my end. Can you repeat the question?
No problem.
Yeah.
I just want to know what's your highs and lows. What's your take on this weekend when you look at the card? You know, what are you excited to look for? What are you not excited to look for? Because we had already talked about how this card is very underwhelming for this year.
I think the matches will be okay. If I'm being honest, because wrestling in terms of the skill set and what the men and women can do now is far exceeded than what they've had for the last 20 years or so. So I think the matches will be okay. I think what gets fans going is the build-ups to it. And I feel like the build-ups have been lackluster. Like we was talking about it on the pod maybe 2 weeks ago with like Charlotte and Tiffany, for example, that it went off the rails between the two of them, but that was their best build-up to their feud so far, which is crazy. It took for them to really go personal with each other, for them to really like, okay, now there's something interesting, because I think now we're in an age where you can't do the crazy stuff that they did in the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, every parent. But now you have to figure out how to engage other people, and the best way to do that is when you really take them cheap shots. Right. So I think for WrestleMania, the build-ups have just been lackluster. Like I said, I think the matches will be okay. The build-ups have just been lackluster. Shouts out to Jade and Naomi for, you know, being the only women match on the card that doesn't have a title. But there's actually an invested story with them there. So I'm happy to see them stories time to build. I think they just rushed everything for the sake of Mania. And I guess they said, well, it's too nice. Let's just phone it in with some of these things here. But I think the matches will be okay. I think the matches will be okay. I think it'll be all right for what it is. It's just the storylines and the build-up is a bit lackluster. Yeah,
I agree. And I mean, you talk about the first night, if you will, because I mean, I think this is a somewhat overkill. But and you said, you know, Jade and Naomi is the only one that's really not a title match per se. But I want to kind of go through and kind of get you guys perspectives on some of these. We start off with that triple threat match, and I'll open up with you, Sam. You got, you know, Roman Reigns and Reigns and CM Punk and Seth going at it. Thoughts, takes, yay, nay, who's coming out on top?
I'm trying to remember who I said on Monday had the dub when I was on Ron's podcast. I think I'm going with Seth Rollins
Hmm.
for the dub.
Okay.
Reigns going to be in a broken state because he doesn't have his advisor in his corner. I think Punk's just there for the ride because this is his first official main card highlight for WrestleMania.
Right.
But like I like the broken Seth Rollins that we're seeing right now. And he even showed glimmers of his betrayal when he gave doggone Roman Reigns a shot to the back on Monday. So I think that residual is just going to be there. So I'm going with Rollins for the dub.
I'm gonna try with that. Ron, your take.
I'm going with Rollins
Okay.
as well. I will say I do think that I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I feel like Seth will make an alliance with Paul Heyman, and they will become a thing.
Really? It's an interesting take. It's an interesting view. Clutch.
This is interesting. This is very interesting because me and Duck was talking about this on a pod where we feel like there's a swerve coming between Paul and Seth because Paul has that history and Seth is always playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. I want Roman to win, obviously, but I do think Seth is going to pull something off because I did see something where there was a callback to what Seth was wearing. And it kind of was an ode to what The Rock had on with the turtleneck and the chain.
Yeah.
And then he had the black vest on and everything. So I know there's going to be a swerve somewhere. But I'm going to go with Seth. I think Seth is going to pull something.
Yeah, I that part when you talked about the way, I mean, I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, but I've been trying to play catch up in preparation because I knew this was coming. And it's the same thing, just kind of the throwback. It was like a flashback, in the ways. And I just think, yeah, there's something brewing there. I too, like you, I lean towards Roman winning. But I just think, I mean, it is WrestleMania. There's always something underhanded, some type of nefarious plot going on. So I think Seth is probably going to walk away with it. And when we transition into the women's championship, we're looking at, you talked about it, Clutch, Tiffany and Charlotte Flair. When you look at this match, which way are you leaning, in the women's championship match?
Ooh. Honestly, I want Tiffany to win. And it's nothing. I want Tiffany to win only for the fact that I can't sit through another Charlotte title reign. And this is not a knock against on Charlotte. And honestly, it's not. It's not a knock against on Charlotte because Charlotte's phenomenal in what she does, and injuries has set her back for the last 2 years or so. But I think when she had those title reigns back to back to back when she's playing hot potato with Sasha, it just threw everything off now because, okay, she wins it again. Who takes it off her? It's like one of those situations.
Right.
But again, I won't be surprised if Charlotte wins, though. I want Tiffany to win, but I'm not surprised if Charlotte wins.
Yeah, I kind of feel you on that. Ron, come on, Ron.
I want Charlotte to win because I'll never forgive Tiffany for that Black B comment. I'll never forgive her for that.
Let go.
Hey, Ron, can you give some just give a brief context for those who don't
know? Yeah.
So there was a video, maybe a TikTok, I don't know, but there was a sound in the background that said Black B, but it said Black B as she was slapping her in the face. So she tried to say, well, she didn't know that it said that, which is crazy because it's like you seen the video, you heard the video, and you didn't hear that Black B was in the background when you slapped her or when you did it. So for me, I ain't banging with it, so I'm always gonna rock against her. I was a fan, but when that whole thing happened, I'm like, you know what? We're not gonna disrespect Naomi like that.
Right. I
Granted,
love it, man.
I get it, but that shit was just that stuff was kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, you're right. That shit was crazy. Like real talk. Like
I ain't know if I curse.
Oh man, look, I mean, it's YouTube. Knock yourself out. This is YouTube. It's all good. Sam, your take on it.
I mean, I'm going with Clutch. I think Tiffany Stratton is going to win. For the same reason, like I'm exhausted of Charlotte Flair. And I really feel like we're kind of at like the lesser of two evils because like I know
Mm,
that Tiffany Stratton mic game isn't the best right now. And I
right.
know like a lot of people aren't on board with her turning babyface um in this campaign right now. But for me, like I'm just tired of Charlotte leaving for a long period of time, coming back,
Mm.
going this like nice little tirade, and it's just boring too. Just for another injury or something like that to happen, and then next thing you know, she has to vacate the belt, and then we have this whole cycle of like a women's tournament and all that stuff. So I think in order to keep it fresh, I'm leaning more towards Tiffany versus Charlotte.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna be clear. I don't care. So it's gonna be clear. These two, I don't care. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I just don't care.
I mean,
And
there's going to be a lot of I don't care when you look at the cards. I think that's going to be hands down. This is one of them. I mean, there's going to be several that we're going to bring up in a few.
yeah, but wait. So this is the first of the ones that I don't care because the next two is the oh damn, I just lost my train of thought because this is how much I don't care. The U.S. Championship match with L.A. Knight and Jacob. Yeah, Fatu. I don't care. I don't, and I'm just being honest because I don't have enough traction on them, and
Mhm.
I really haven't really dug into the build up to them, and I don't know. I really don't know who these brothers are. These gentlemen are, but just the name L.A. Knight and a dude named Fatu, it just doesn't. There's no. It just doesn't do it. Like, bruh, like it. I'm sorry. So I'm
Nah.
gonna pass it on to the professionals, and I'm gonna let Ron start because this one again, I don't care.
So I'm with you. It's not that I don't care about the match, right? It's not that I don't care about the match. I'm okay with whoever wins this match because I like both guys. It's like you can't.
Okay.
You're not wrong either way you go.
Okay.
If I had to choose one, I would choose Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is probably like the best way to describe him is he basically a Samoan hood dude. Like that's the best way to describe him. He's a Samoan hood.
And so like real talk, like I tried to catch up, and that's kind of what I came up with. But like in my mind, I'm like, hey, this shit ain't real. Like
bro done been in the box for like some years.
Okay.
Well, I ain't gonna say he really about that life. I don't know what he did.
And that's what I'm saying. He may very well be, but like I said, I don't have enough. And this is where I say, like, I really, because I'm having fun with it at the moment because I'm just being honest. But I really try to dig in. I really try to at least come with something factual, something that I can give. But like I said, the more I kind of dug into it, like some of the things that I was saying, like for me, my mind, the reality is like, nah, bro, this shit ain't real. Like I can't buy it. I can't get into it. But I'm not disputing it, and that's why I say, I want to lean in on you guys because this is what you guys talk about on the regular, and just kind of give me some background. Like I said, I get the Samoan part, but the LA Knight thing, like,
yeah. So LA Knight, people describe him as a mix between Stone Cold and The Rock. Like it sounds mad wild, but
yeah, I don't see Miller highlight, man. I just don't. Okay,
He's built for the Attitude Era.
yeah.
Like if you go back to like peak D-Generation X,
got you. That I can see.
Austin
That I can see.
316, Smack Talking Rock, like he's kind of in a time warp right now.
Okay.
Especially like his build and his moniker, just everything just screams like it's 20 years too late right now.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said because that's really what, like I said, when I looked at these, like it wasn't to me it wasn't a good match. Like I mean, because like to me it's like two total different things, and you hit it on the head. But I'm not disputing their talent, but like I said, for me, I chalked that one up, put to the side because I couldn't really get into it. And Clutch, I want to give you some time. Like, what are your thoughts on this matchup and who's walking away, with the win?
Well, if the name LA Knight confused you, if I tell you what his name was before it changed, yeah, it was Max Dupree. So
you could have left me where I was at.
He had a whole gang of monikers though.
Yo, for real.
Yeah. His thing he was doing before was this is an upgrade for him compared to what he was doing before. But
you could have left me there.
You know what's wild? I didn't even realize he was Ezekiel.
Oh yeah, Elijah twin.
Yeah, he was Elijah twin.
I remember that too. I forgot all about that because he came out clean shaven, and everyone thought that it was a doppelganger and everything, and that it was like really Elijah. He just like shaved and everything. I forgot all about that.
Jeez, all right. And look,
Kevin Owens had PTSD after that one. Because that man was going rampant. But, I'm going with Jacob. Just the way they've been presenting him and building him. I'm going with Jacob because he's just been tearing through everybody. So I'm gonna go with Jacob for this match. The build up for it has been, I think this is just one of those matches where, again, like I said before, the build up's just been lackluster. So now the matches will be okay. But the way they just been presenting Jacob and the way he's starting to slowly branch off from Solo and Tama Tonga, I have Jacob winning that match.
Okay. Look, like I said, I'm going to give it a push. I'm going to push on through. We briefly talked about the rivalry match with Jade and Naomi. I think that's the highlight of the card for me. And I'm going to speak. I'm team Naomi. Just kind of, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of looking for this. And I mean, what if somebody who's tuning in right now, and I'm going to start with you, Sam. Anybody watching right now that don't know anything about Naomi or Jade, like what should they really pay attention to when it comes to whether it be style, matchup, or whatever when it comes to this one?
I mean, man, that's a tough one. Because if I'm being honest, like technically, Naomi's the better wrestler. And I mean, I think that's well known. Jade is, when you look at her, you look at her physique. You look at the way that she carries herself, like she has everything that's made for a wrestler. However, she still needs a lot of work in the ring. So I guess this one right now is this going to be the match that actually put Jade over, or like are we going to see this run that Naomi's been leading up to as far as her heel character and everything? So I kind of want to root for Naomi on this one, just for the fact that it's going to be tough, because the last couple of meetups that you saw with Naomi and Jade Cargill, like Jade was washing her. Like, go back to Elimination Chamber, go back to doggone all the plugs and everything that they had. So like as of recent, like Naomi's been getting the up and up, so I kind of just want that to carry over. So somebody has to beat the giant.
Yeah, I think it's time. And I'm gonna let Ron and Clutch kind of speak on that. Like, what do you gentlemen see? You know, when it comes to this here, is it that time for Naomi to get over the hump? Because I think this is a good stage and opportunity, you know, for it to finally happen. But what do you guys like? What are your take on it? And I'll start with you, Ron.
For me, I think this is Naomi time as far as the heel character, how she's been going, the way she's been cooking on Twitter. Like, Twitter has been the new, I don't know, like, I don't want to say the new promo spot, but like her, Drew McIntyre, somebody else I want to say, but they stay cooking online, stay roasting people, and it's funny, it's engaging, like you love it. I like this heel character, and I wish this heel character would win. But I feel like Jade Goldberg is going to beat her, and that's
Jade Goldberg.
Good one.
Man.
But now, all jokes aside, like I love Jade. I love, if they do this right, this could be a good rivalry between those two, especially with the styles. You know, Jade is a power person. She has the strength. She has the look. She has the physique. You know, Naomi, she has multiple styles, but her most dangerous stuff is her athleticism, her high flying. Like, you don't know where she's going to attack you from. Like, she has a move where she literally grabs you by the neck with her legs and give you a DDT. Like, you don't know what she's going to do. So she's very dangerous for her. And if it's a story that is told correctly. I hope Naomi win, but I feel like they're gonna give it to Jade because, well, she got hit by a car. So you can't get hit by a car and then lose Twitter and then lose in a match.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Clutch.
So I have an interesting theory of how this is gonna go, right? I'm fine for whoever wins this match, to be honest.
Okay.
I believe that Jade is gonna win this match. However, because of the gimmick Naomi's portraying now, which I'm so happy to see now, I think Backlash she's gonna get her. Because normally after WrestleMania is Backlash, and I think that will fit into Naomi perfectly, especially if they have, I don't want to go nothing crazy saying no holds barred, but something of that nature. And I think they'll be able to flourish more so into that. So whoever wins. I do think Jade would win it, but I'm hoping Naomi does, because Naomi does need that win just as much. But at the same time, I can understand why they want Jade to do it too, because Jade right now, she is one of the more popular women on the division. So this will be an interesting matchup to see. But whoever wins it, I'm fine with, because they both could use it, to be honest.
I feel you. Like I said, I think it's going to be interesting to see. And for those of you who may be joining us, I see some folks in the woods. We're talking about Wrestle 41, coming up. Well, it's going this weekend. It's a full weekend, full blown. And we're going over the card. First night, we're coming to the back end of the first night of matches. And I haven't seen one of these in a while. A lucha match. I didn't even know Rey Mysterio was still out here kicking. And look, I don't know who this El Grande Americano is, but I feel like it's a large cup of coffee. I don't know. I don't know who this brother is, but hey, I'm gonna throw it out there because if Ray's fighting a cup of coffee, I'm taking Ray all day. But I'm gonna leave it to the professionals. I'll start with you, Clutch.
Duck, you know I'm about to bring up Sami Zayn for this, right?
Go ahead.
He knows it. El Generico.
Sami Zayn, if you know who Sami Zayn is, he is this man's red herring. He hates this man with a passion. If Sami Zayn has no more haters out there, it's because Clutch is dead. So, this man hates this man. But go ahead, Clutch.
Honestly, we love Sami Zayn over here, but honestly,
that was a broken heart, Clutch.
Ray, I'm about to say that was
that was a broken heart, bro.
That's another story for another time. For this match, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't care about this match. To be quite honest, I think it's low-key foolish to have Chad Gable in a mask pretending to be a luchador to face Rey Mysterio out of all people. But
right.
I am glad to see though that Chad Gable's getting a spot at WrestleMania. If I'm really gonna find a silver lining to it, because he reminds me so much of early Kurt Angle, like King of the Ring Kurt Angle. So if this is going to be a way where he gets that slight push into something, I'm definitely with it. But the El Generico thing, I think they could have, not the El Generico, see, damn it, Sami Zayn. The El Americano thing, I think they could have avoided that, but honestly, it is what it is. I don't care, but I think he's going to win that match anyway. Chad Gable. I'm just going to call him Chad. I ain't going to call him.
Yeah. We're going to leave the cup of coffee alone. We're going to go with Chad. Ron, well, I see you itching. Look like you itching to get something in. You got something, bro. What's up?
I hate the fact that this is the thing. I hate it with a passion. I mostly often think, is it like disrespectful to like the actual lucha libre culture? Yep. I don't know if it is. I don't know. I can't speak on it, but it's something I often think about. I love Chad Gable. I'm happy he's getting a spot. I just wish it was as Chad Gable and not as
look. I don't know much, but like I said, lucha culture, like you said, and like I said, I've never heard of this El Grande Americano. It just sounds like it's just bad. And like I said, to be going up against a great, if you will, and Rey Mysterio, I just feel it is somewhat disrespectful. And it just kind of threw me off. And Sam, I see you shaking your head. Sam, what's your take on it?
it will be a travesty if Rey Mysterio loses.
Oh,
I would say
well,
that much.
you know, that's a good point because that's something that we haven't even touched on.
For the culture and everything. So
good point.
I hate it. I hate the whole moniker of this mysterious luchador from the Gulf of America or from the Gulf of North America, and like the whole build up around it. Or there's matches that you see that Chad Gable is supposed to be participating in, and next thing you know he can't. But it's like, oh, I have this one wrestler in mind, and next thing you know it's El Grande Americano. I don't like it. I'm not for it. Thumbs down in my book. Like point blank and simple.
I couldn't agree. That one just left a bad taste in my mouth. And then we're gonna close out night one with the World Tag Team Championship. You know, you got the War Raiders, excuse me, going up against the New Day. This one I don't know. I'm gonna leave it to the experts because I don't know enough about them, but it's I feel one way about it. But I want to hear the experts. And I'm gonna start with you, Ron, on this one.
Go ahead, get on your chest.
Okay, I'm about to say that would sound like you got this one brewing on you, bro. Get it out there.
I'm gonna be real with you. This is one of the matches where you keep this match with a passion because I don't know what's the point of it. Like, but it's so stupid. I don't like the way that they did the whole Kofi and Woods. Like they made them so fake. Like if you're familiar with Dragon Ball Z, like Majin, Vegeta, Bibbidi, or Bobbidi, or whoever he wants to be, like it started off cool, but then it kind of just fizzled out, and now it's like they're still going. But I'm gonna be real with you. I want Kofi and Woods to lose, simply because this man don't have a mustache on his top lip.
I knew it. I knew it.
I want him to lose because he don't have a mustache.
You talk about me.
I know it's petty. But not seeing a mustache on that top lip irritates my spirit. So
oh damn!
Like, yo, just cut it all off, bro. Just cut it all off.
He was holding on to that one, boy. That one was really inside. Well, I'm glad you had safe space to get it all out, though, Ron. Anytime it's a safe space. Sam, yeah, definitely, Sam. I say you kind of intense, Sam. You got this intense look too. Like I can't tell. Like I know you long. I feel like you disgusted even talking about this one too. But I want to give you your time because you're intense right now.
No, I mean I'm cool. I don't care for the match. And like while Ron was talking, I was thinking in my head, how come every dark like moniker we got, whether it was solo or like tag team, they end up becoming like a biker gang. Like I just thought about that because the War Raiders were like these Vikings, you know what I'm saying, with shields and the horn hats and everything. And then, like, over the past, month and a half, they done turned into, like, the Bullet Club gang or something like that with doggone biker jackets and motor clubs and everything. I know that's neither here or there. I just
that's what took you. That's what took you. I got it. I got it.
Nah, that needs to be studied for real.
Yeah, it does. I mean, look at the Taker. You look at Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think if you go to close out, like, if you go to sit here and you go to close out New Day's turn, then they might as well just sit here and beat the War Raiders. Somehow, maybe Big E's going to come out there and it might be like, you know, hey, brothers, what y'all doing? And maybe there's a chair tossed in and, like, he's going to show somehow that he cares about them. So I'm lightly, though I don't care, leaning on to get the dub on this one.
Okay. I mean, Sam, I was worried for a second because I was trying to, you know, sitting here, just didn't realize what was going on, bro. And I was just trying to be there for you. So it's all good. Yeah, I didn't peep the bike. Now I got to go back and really pay attention to it because I didn't peep that. But Clutch.
Check out the Viking Raiders. Check out when they first started to where they at now.
In my mind, because like, you know, like I'm trying to piece it together. But I think you wanted something. So, you know, I'm going to go back and I'm gonna look at the tape. But Clutch, your take on closing out night one.
I'm gonna start off by saying that the Viking Raiders went to Seth Rollins' closet and they said, "No, sir, it's not for me." So, honestly, unless I'm gonna assume Biggie's gonna involved with this, I'm gonna assume this match is on the card for a reason. But I don't really care about this one either. And this could have happened on Raw. And
Okay.
I'm just gonna be honest. If anything, and this is the kind of the part where me and Duck and everybody else and Let Me Talk, we kind of elaborate on is that certain people like the Prophets, I'd rather see the Prophets and the Motor City Machine Guns have that spot at Mania.
Okay.
Because that's something that the Machine Guns could have had that moment being at Mania, not necessarily got to win it, but to be at Mania, and the Prophets, after literally going through hell and high water to get to that point of getting the titles back, they could have had that match at Mania more so than a New Day and the Viking Raiders, unless there's going to be something involving Big E or a turn or something. But other than that, if there isn't, I can really care less about this matchup neither, because this could have happened on Raw. And if there's nothing that's going to come out of it at Mania, then that spot could have went to the Prophets and to the Motor City Machine Guns.
Right. Look, I ain't mad at it. Look, y'all listening, keep your trash on TV. Get the fans what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the resonating sound that I'm hearing. And, you know, that closes out night one, which kind of lackluster, like we said in the beginning. But you go into night two, and like, let's start at the top of the card, really, with the undisputed WWE Championship. You know, Cody Rhodes and, you know, John Cena in his heel role, I guess, returns for the first time in hell, Lord knows how many years. And I'm trying to figure out why. Now, I'm glad anybody who ever wants to go first, you can have it. I'm just trying to figure out why, because this is one of those matches that I don't even understand really why it's even on the card, and given the magnitude that it is, other than the names, but I really don't see why. So whoever wants to take this one first, please fill me and fill us in.
I'll be tribute. Well, you have to go back to last year. John Cena announced that 2025 was his last tour with wrestling and everything.
Right.
So his promise to the fans was that he was going to be participating in all your major PLEs. Somehow he was going to get to WrestleMania. He went on record acknowledging that he was taking multiple L's, because he has. I want to say he was on like a 16 match losing streak or something like that. Then I don't want to say he got jaded at the Royal Rumble, but he lost the Royal Rumble to Jey Uso. So the only other place that he could fit in was the Elimination Chamber, to which he won. And then he chose to go ahead and go against Cody Raheem Rhodes, you know. Descendant, you know, the descendant of Dusty Rhodes. But that's where we are now. So, you know, you got John Cena calling Cody fake, per se, as far as his moniker and like your style, everything is based off of me. He turned heel. Was it Elimination Chamber that he turned heel? Yeah, it was the end of Elimination Chamber when he turned heel, when Cody Rhodes beat Kevin Owens, I think it was. And then, you know, The Rock and John Cena and Travis Scott came in there. Yeah. And then you had that debacle. So that's where we're at now. So I think John Cena's going to win. And the only reason why I say that is because I think it's going to either we're going to see corporate Cody when he's finally going to like sign with The Rock, or we're going to see like Homelander Cody, which everyone is rooting for right now. They want to see that turn, and like you have to start somewhere. So I think WrestleMania just might be it for that.
Yeah, fair enough. Gentlemen, either one of you want to jump in? Ron, you want to jump in on this one?
I'm gonna be real. I don't know. I don't know which way I want to go with this. Only because, if I had to choose, I'll choose John Cena. I'll choose John Cena because, you know, this is his last year. We all wanted to at some point see him turn heel. To see him actually turn heel and do it well, at least to me, I personally feel like that story that was told in how that story was told in what is it called? Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was told very well, at least for him, because nobody expected it to happen, how it happened, all of that stuff. I would want him to win, and if I'm not mistaken, he would not. He would actually be the highest reigning champion. Like I think he's tied for Flair right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if he wins, he would have not. He would have surpassed Flair, which I'm down for.
Okay.
I'm also cool with Cody winning because it would be a big win for him. The only thing is that if he does win, then what happens to John? Like this is a big moment.
It
You
is a big
should,
moment.
you know, this is you changed. You were the face. You
Face,
were
yeah.
the guy. You know,
Mhm.
Mr. Make a Wish. All of
Mhm.
that stuff. So for you to like turn heel and then just take a L. Sorry.
It's okay.
For you to take a L, it would suck. It would be a big blow. So I would choose for him to win. I would want him to win.
Just to be gracious for him to go out, just on top, you know, and a salute and a nod to him, you know.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, so I would want him to win. I'm fine if either one don't, but I would love to. But I will say I agree with Sam, and this would be the start of. And it's funny enough, I've never seen The Boys. I haven't seen The Boys yet, but I kind of get the concept of Homelander Cody. I would
Mhm.
like to see Cody with the edge.
Yeah.
I seen to say he's fake. It's his mannerism, how he talks, how he moves, how he dresses. It all
Right.
seems rehearsed. How he, you know, managed to bring out that one single tear. It's all so to see him actually get to a point where I'm not going to say he's villainous, but he's an anti-hero who's crazy, who's beating up people, getting his hands dirty. Hopefully not bleeding all over the place like he did somewhere else, AEW. But
Mhm.
I would like to see a more darker side, something a little rough around the edges. You know, like you said, your dad was, you know, he was an everyman. He was a plumber. He was a maintenance man. He was the American dream, as you would put it. This version of you just seems like you benefited off his riches. You know, you don't give that hard edge. You don't give that rough around the edges thing. So it's like I would love to see a Homelander version of it, or if what I think that would be. Because like I said, I haven't seen Boys, which I'm going to start.
But he's definitely not the hardcore version. He might be more of a Gump version. He might be a little bit more along that line. But who knows? I don't. But I'm gonna close that out, Clutch. I want to give you a moment to speak on it because we got a couple other matches to talk about.
I'm going with John for two reasons. One, to agree with what Ron said about him being heel and getting up to that moment. Like it has to be for something. Because if that's the case, there was no need for him to turn. They could just have that match straight up.
Yeah.
But the second thing is because after Cody said that comment about John's promo having more in his jorts than in the promo, I was like, yeah, that's a pause worthy moment where I can't. So I was like, John gotta win after that one. There's no recovery after that. You gotta win after that one. That was nah. But if hindsight, if this does lead to a Cody heel turn, the closest thing that I could think about is his heel run in New Japan when he was with Bullet Club. Because he was an absolute menace over there. And I mean a menace. And if anybody knows about the Bullet Club during that time space with Kenny, the Bucks, Tama Tonga, Loa Fale, they were some goons over there. So if he does, I would love to see that. But I'm cool with John winning. I'm cool with Cody winning at this point. It's one of those past versus present type of things. So I'm cool with either or.
Gotcha.
But I do see John winning it just because of that element of The Rock. Travis Scott being in the back somewhere. You know he's gonna be there. So I have John winning that match.
Okay.
You think Travis knows how to throw a punch now?
Nah. He got to work on that. Nah, you
Still
ruptured
putting
the
his,
eardrum. You take it too seriously.
Too serious? Yeah. Well, look, there's a couple other matches. I'm going to ask you all. I'm gonna give you one each. We have, and I'll start with you, Sam, with the
All right.
Women's World Championship. You know, we got Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and the girl Rhea.
Yeah.
In that match, what do you see as the outcome? Who you see coming out in that match?
I know who I want to win, and I wish Ray was up here because she'd be pissed off right now. But I'm going with Rhea Ripley because, like I said on Ron's podcast on Let Me Talk, Rhea should have never lost the belt to begin with.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? She should have never. Well, let me rephrase that. She should have never lost to Io. I think that's the only problem that I have right now. That's who I want to win for some strange reason because Io is the dark horse. I got a feeling that she's going to sit here and retain the title because it's all for right now. It's just been about Bianca and Rhea beefing and everything.
Yep.
They're over here just mushing doggone Io Sky in the face. She's trying to talk and they're like, "Shut up, little one," and she's starting to pick up steam. But like I said, I want Rhea Ripley to win so she could get the title back. But like I said, for some strange reason, I think it's Io's that she's going to retain. So
okay, but I agree with you. I think Rhea. I'd like to see win, but a lot of back drama that was going on, and I was playing catch up for him. But I think that's going to be low key one of the more exciting matches that we see. But we have a fatal 4-way. Excuse me, and I'm gonna shift the Ron. You got Breaker Penna, Finn Balor, and Dirty Dom in the building. So which way you going?
I love Penta. I'm gonna go with Penta. I've been a fan of his since his Lucha Underground days. Was when I first met him or first heard of him was Lucha Underground. Man, fell in love instantly. So I'm rocking with Penta.
Okay, fair enough. And then we have a women's tag title. Clutch. When you look at the ladies that are involved with Liv and Raquel and Lyra, like you smiling. I don't like what's your take? Because I can't wait to hear this one. He started smiling as soon as I said it.
I'm so glad you gave me this. I was hoping I got the threat, but I'm so glad you gave me this instead because this match is so stupid. It is so stupid. And I wasn't on the pod on Monday because I meant to ask Duck one to give him an effing for me for this. But this match is so stupid. You have Lyra Valkyria, who's your Intercontinental Champion, in a tag team match. I could care less about the tag team match on the card. Just to answer the question, I got Liv and Raquel winning anyway. But you could have had Chelsea's group in that match. You could have had Mia Yemen and B-Fab in that match. Hell, you could have had Maxine and Natalia in that match. For that matter, you could have had someone in NXT. You could have Lasha Jakara in that match. Could have put Casey and Katana Chance in that match. Nah, they're the same person. Excuse me. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. You could have put anybody in that match. And you put Bayley and Lyra when you could just had them have a match for the title again for itself. That's part of the thing where I personally don't have an issue with Triple H and what he's been doing lately, but it's those things that kind of make you like, what are we doing here? Because there's so many other options that you had. Right. Especially when, and to Pat's point, shout out to Pat, he said, why is she even in the tournament when she already has a title? And I honestly would have loved to see, like I said, Mia Yim and B-Fab in that match, or Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. I would have loved to see them or someone from NXT down there in that match to have that moment, whether they win or lose. But this just makes no sense. So I really don't care about it because I already know who's going to win it. And if Liv and Raquel end up losing those titles to them, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be the ICW person Triple H is talking about.
I'm gonna call it in advance. I'm gonna call bullshit if before it even happens. If that happens, there's no way in hell. And then, you know, to close out the card, I'm calling bullshit again because we got a Sin City street fight with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, and the real bullshit is the wrestler versus the YouTuber, AJ Styles and Logan Paul. Now I'm gonna leave this to you guys because the last one, I don't know if it's just a Paul thing. Anybody last name Paul? I don't know if I'm just kind of over the whole I'm just over it. So I just think I'm just calling, like I said, I'm calling bullshit up front, but I'm gonna leave it to you, gentlemen. So Sam, you want to start us off with either match that's closing out night 2?
Damian Priest is going to defeat Drew McIntyre. I'm just tired of Drew McIntyre's whining. He's going to keep on whining. And if AJ Styles lose to Logan Paul, just turn off your TV.
Man, what?
Don't smash it. Just turn it off. Don't smash it.
Yeah, just turn it off. Don't do anything else. Just cut your TV off. Because there should be no way
in hell
that even happens.
Yeah. Okay. Ron?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with Sam. Damian Priest is definitely winning. Drew McIntyre is going to cry as he loses for like the 12,000th time on pay-per-view or a premium live event. And yeah, AJ is too phenomenal of a wrestler to lose to AJ. And I get it. I get it's scripted. I get
it. Yeah, I get it too.
I totally understand. But there's no way that this man, I would, as far as in-ring ability, at least top 10, if we're being honest.
Right. I mean, there's a vast difference here.
Yeah, as far as in-ring ability, any era, at least top 10. It's no way this man loses. It's like Rey Mysterio losing to El Americano Grande.
Right. Like, I mean, it's the dumbest shit. Like, this, like, bro, come on, really? I'm over.
I'm punching air if he loses. That's all.
I'm over it for real. And last but not least, Clutch, I want to give you some moment to speak on the last two fights or matches. I'm sorry.
I have AJ winning, but I won't be surprised if AJ isn't. Well, let me say AJ wouldn't mind putting Logan Paul over. I think he's just that type of guy where he'll do that. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want Logan Paul to win because I'm not a fan of none of them. But I just won't be surprised if the outcome is that it's because of that reason. But I got AJ winning, as Duck said, and me and Ron said. I keep forgetting to call you Duck on the regular show.
It's okay. Because I think after the 15th Duck, I think we knew who Duck was. I think we figured it out. I was trying to figure out, like, what are you talking about? Okay, I got it. I think we got it now. It's okay.
I appreciate it. But no, I have AJ winning to Doug's point. AJ's easily top 10 when it comes to the wrestling game. So there's no reason why he should not win that match. And to Drew and Damian, I want Damian to win because he's a fellow New Yorker like yours truly. But I have a feeling Drew's going to come out on top with that match. Just because that sitting on that year loss of Mania, you losing your title to that same person, I gotta get you for that. So no, I got Drew winning that match. Although I want Damian to win, I got Drew winning it.
Why get the get back when he did it to himself?
No, I agree. I 100% agree. But Drew's gonna be Drew.
Yeah,
he gonna be Drew.
Man.
I feel you on that one. I feel you. To me, he just reaping his own repercussions and everything.
Listen, all I can say is, man, this has been a great segment. I had a good time. I appreciate you, gentlemen, just chiming in and just really kind of giving, to the segment is huge. And when we look at the landscape of wrestling, before we transition into our next topic, I'm just curious to know from you gentlemen, and I'll start, with Clutch. Where do you see wrestling, expanding to? Like, how much more global? I mean, it's already global, but what else can we expect to see, or what do you think is going to be down the road when it comes to wrestling? Whether it be matches, new branches, AEW type, TNT type. Like, where do you see wrestling expanding to?
I would like them just to be a little bit more consistent in what they're doing.
Mm.
You know, more is some, less is sometimes more. You know, because if you look at everything they've done from pop culture in the early 90s to the 2000s, they've done all of that. Like, even now, if you go on WWE Shop, they got title belts of every major sports team. So, you know, I think wrestling has always been that factor of being into everything. I just like them to be a bit more consistent in terms of what they're doing. And sometimes less is just more. Like, again, I alluded to with the Lyra Valkyria being in a tag title match when she's a champion. Like, just let certain things make sense. We know it's scripted. We know there's an outcome. But that's cool. But let it have some reality to it. Like, how many times is someone going to interfere in a match and a ref going to get distracted with the person and then knowing good or well that person's not going to touch him? Like, you know, let there be some form of reality to what we're looking at. And, you know, I think wrestling will be okay because it's been going on for this long.
True.
So I just like a little bit more consistency with it.
I'll give you that. And I see your head was bobbing, Sam. So I'll pass the baton to you. What are your thoughts on where do you see it? You know, expanding.
I agree with everything Clutch said. I would like to see more crossover work that we've been seeing between the companies and everything, whether it's TNA and WWE, AEW and Ring of Honor. I'm actually enjoying that more. And I guess at least from the WWE perspective, I just want them to open their stable up a little bit more. Because I think that, just like I said, the build up to WrestleMania 41, I think is just a lack of from the people that you have on the card. So we know that you have like this big ass roster, so go ahead and expand on them. Or, you know, even if they use everybody that they have now, like hopefully, and I know it's not going to happen, but, you know, whether it's SummerSlam or Backlash, you know, add some new faces, bring some people up from NXT and everything, and let them get some shine. I mean, I know they have their own PLEs and everything, but it will be good to have them on these main cards too and everything.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like to see.
I feel you on that. That's a good point. And last but definitely not least, Ron, what do you see?
I agree. I would love to see more crosswork promotion. It's slowly happening under this new regime in WWE, where you're starting to get little things. Like right now, you see TNA and NXT are working together, which under a certain person that I won't name wouldn't have happened.
Facts.
You know, you see just little things like you see like New Japan and AEW, they're working together. Even there was even a little brief WWE in New Japan type situation happening.
Right.
So like, I would love to see that happen more. To also Clutch's point, you know, we know what's going on. We know it's scripted. We know everything that's happening. Like everybody knows that it's not. Everybody knows each other. All the superstars big up each other's matches, things like that. So everybody knows each other. It's one big community. It's one big family. let's start working together. You know, let's start putting some of these quote unquote dream matches together that we would all love to see. One that I would love to see that would happen that I know is never going to happen is Tanahashi versus John Cena. Tanahashi is Japan's John Cena, and of course we all know who John Cena is over here. So like, I would love to see those two have a match. Will it ever happen?
Probably not.
Possibly. I mean, I doubt it will, but maybe 10 years down the road, we might get those crossovers where it happened. Because we, like I said, you see with New Japan, you see with like TNA and NXT, something that never would have happened.
Right.
So I would love to see more of that, and also I would love to see more TV-based wrestling shows, if that makes any sense. Like Raw is a show, but it's wrestling. But like, what's that one joint? Heels. Heels is a wrestling. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I would love to see that. I know y'all heard me mention Lucha Underground, but Lucha Underground was more of a show than it was the actual wrestling product. It was a wrestling product, but there was an actual storyline to it.
Right.
Everybody played an important part, whether they won or lost. Everybody played an important part, and even funny people died. Them wrestlers never came back. They died.
Back. Yeah.
So you know, You know, people get hurt, come back. People, you know, and wrestling it gets weird. But nah, on this show, they was like, "Hey, man, you
That's it.
cursed to hell, and you ain't coming back." And they never came back. So
That's
I
true.
would love
That's
to
true.
see those type of things. It's crazy, it's wild, and we all know that these people are, you know, playing a
Hey,
character. But I would love to see like actual more TV based wrestling dramas as well. Like I would love for the industry to get into that and actually use wrestlers because you know they're
hey, why
high,
not?
they're super athletic trained actors at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you know. And that's not to
For sure.
disrespect at all.
Nah, I think you all guys bring up great points. And the only way I can say ending off this segment, man, is this is really sensational. I mean, wrestling has come a long way from the time that I started watching so many years ago and to the expansion that we've seen and the talent, you know, that has really evolved and that we're watching is crazy how talented these guys are. And that kind of leads me into really the next topic that we're going to talk about really is, you know, not just any Mount Rushmore, but a black Mount Rushmore of you know, talented black wrestlers who have done it throughout the years. And this segment I want to is being sponsored by our partners over at Riddick Entertainment. And I'm just really kind of curious, you know, from you guys, your take, like who would you see or sit uh within your Mount Rushmore of wrestling? And since we have our guests from Let Me Talk, I'm gonna start with you, Ron. I'm gonna ask you, who would you have, let's say, in your Mount Rushmore?
Oh, this is a tough one. I'll go Ron Simmons because he was the first black heavyweight champion. You gotta go Ron Simmons.
Mhm.
I would also go Booker T.
Yeah, got
Feel
it.
what you feel about him personally. Feel what you feel about him personally. But I'm gonna go Booker T. Just from a wrestling point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I'll also go, and this one it might be questionable because some people don't consider him this, but I'll go The Rock.
Yep.
We can feel what he feels, but he is a black man at the end of the day. But for that fourth spot, Swerve Strickland, because he is the future of black wrestling to me. You're
Okay.
hearing things that this man has done behind the scenes, things like that, and like how he's really just putting people on black wrestlers. Like he's, you know,
Mm-hmm.
he supports everybody. He ain't at the point where he's too big for nobody. He likes you. He supports you. He sees you on the come up. He's there. He's at these indie events where these little, you know, these little known small indie events. He's there,
Right.
you know, talking to the wrestlers. So like, while he like, you know, he is the future to me. So I would put him on my Mount Rushmore. He would represent the future for black wrestling.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm gonna swing over to you, Clutch. Who would you have on your Mount Rushmore?
This is definitely a difficult one. It is a difficult one. First things I'm gonna start off with this one. Actually, I'm gonna put Jacqueline on there. I'm definitely gonna throw her in there because I know she was one of the very few to do it in the 90s and early 2000s, but she was still able to carry herself there too. And with her, you had Jazz come along, Alicia Crawford. Now you're starting to see more women of color in wrestling now. So I have to give her that nod for that. Ron Simmons, definitely, because he was one of the first ones that I saw watching wrestling with the Nation of Domination.
Right.
So I definitely have to give him the nod for that. Booker T. And I know Booker is Booker has some hot takes, but you know, it's one of those things like, again, feel how you feel, but you can never take away the body of work of what someone did in the ring.
Agreed.
And lastly, this is going to be a shocker. No, maybe not a shocker, but a surprise. I'm going with Keith Lee. And only for the dudes with size, because I've never seen someone that's that big, but that could fly around like a cruiserweight. So I think so I'm going to go with Keith Lee on that one because he's done things that you will never see a guy his size able to do. Like you would never think you see someone his size do a moonsault off the top rope. But you know, I gotta go with Keith Lee on that one.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. That was a good one. Sam, what say you?
I'm like everyone else as far as Booker T and Ron Simmons. Their body of work speaks for themselves, so I'm not going to sit here and repeat that. Who else would I add? I feel like I would go with The Godfather. I will put well, whether it's Godfather, Papa Shango, or when he had his stint in, he was Mustafa.
Kamal.
Kamal. In the Nation of Domination. And I was very tempted to put D'Lo up there too. Just because of like he's a really good technician. Like his power slams were just like phenomenal, like back in the day. And he always came out looking like he was coked out. You know what I'm saying? Like he just took a bump right quick. And then he'll go ahead and like, you know, toss his neck and everything. But I would put Dwayne Johnson as that missing piece, just for everything that he did, you know, for the company, for the brand. And he, you know, at the time he was the most electrifying at his craft and his art and everything. So I think, you know, those are the ones who paved the way so others could walk, you know, in the game right now.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, you gentlemen, I think you hit them all on the head. Ron Simmons, you know, Booker T. I think of guys like Junkyard Dog, the Big Cat Ernie Ladd. Those guys were incredible. You know, just to go back in history, Mark Henry, just for his short, King Kong. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, this pure brute strength, and then you know, Bianca Belair and like you said, you took my man Devon. They all had their times, you know, throughout this arc and storyline. And I think I wish we could all credit them, but I definitely Ron and Booker, I think, stand atop that mountain. And I put The Rock, not because he wasn't a great wrestler, but I think the time that he came was a time that wrestling really needed that look, that fresh face and energy. And I think he really brought that, you know, to wrestling. And I would have to put him on there as well. And wrestling has a bright future. I agree with you, Jim. I think it really does have a bright future. So I'm excited to see what other talented men and women that come along that look like us and continue to perform on every stage, you know, and continue to perform on these main stages. So it's been a great talk. You know, when it comes to wrestling, and right now we're gonna put a book in the wrestling chapter, and we're gonna transition because we have one more segment where we talking about playoffs. And like in my eyes, we ain't talking about playoffs, we talking about the playoffs, right? And right now we at that point where, you know, playing games have pretty much almost come to an end. We're looking at what we're looking at for the playoffs, and I'm just going to throw it out there. And I'll start with you, Sam. Just looking, you know, at the West, you know, what can we expect? And I'm not looking for a champion or anything right now, but what can we expect in this first round opening salvo of the playoffs in the West? Who do you see right now kind of a little bit out, you know, stepping out in front and kind of taking charge in this first round?
I mean, I don't know, because when you get to 3 through 6, it gets tight. Or 3 through 7 even, it gets muddled. Mm-hmm. So honestly, I really feel that the West is just up for grabs right now. Like, to me, seeding doesn't matter. It's going to be who's the healthiest and who has the hot hand, really, in the West. So, yeah, that's really tough for me, because you could talk about Golden State, you know, since they got Jimmy Buckets. We could talk about the revamped Lakers, you know, which I don't want to discuss because that's an activating event for me, being a Mavericks fan. I mean, you still got OKC, you know what I'm saying? You still got Houston. So
that's my dark horse. I'm riding Houston right now. I think that's the team that nobody's talking about. We've talked about on the show, the young guns. with Green and my man from Toronto. Like they just have so many young guns, and Coach, man, he's been there before, he's done it before, and that's who the team I don't think anybody wants to see right now. I think they're probably the most exciting young team out there, and if I had to pick anybody right now, I would jump on the Houston bandwagon and ride them. And I saw you, Clutch. I saw you kind of shaking your head. What you feel?
I agree with Houston because Houston actually is one of those teams. They're just like the Pistons where they turn it around, building through the draft, establishing a culture. I agree with them being a dark horse, but there's another team that I do think that may be a sleeper if they can be healthy, like you said, and that's the Clippers. Only because of Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs is a whole different player than he is during the season. And if you're getting him at 100%, and he's locked in, and James Harden do what he's supposed to do, I think the Clippers are that dark horse along with the Houston Rockets.
He's already started.
He's already in a long time that we've seen a healthy Kawhi in the playoffs too.
Who said he was healthy? He on load management. I mean, he's a flat tire. He's a flat tire away already, and they ain't even start playing yet. I mean, look, Kawhi. I love Kawhi when he's, like I said, and we keep talking about the same thing. When he's healthy, I'm not fucking with the Lakers. I'm sorry. You might as well put them on the boat already. They can go ahead, go to Cancun, wherever they're going, because they're not leaving the first round. I'm sorry. Stop. Because I'm over that. And Ron, I don't mean to cut you off, Clutch, but no, I'm not in the glitch. I'm not in the glitch. I'm not glitching or nothing. It's not happening.
I'm like God talk. I'm out of my element when it comes to basketball. What I do know is the Lakers is trash, and I'm not banging with them. I do know that much. I'm just here to learn from y'all so I can help with my DraftKings bets.
Okay. So
you should have been asked me that.
Hey, Ron's trying to get the parlays. That's all he wants.
Look, whatever you do is put all your money on the Clippers to lose. I know there's a board somewhere that's got them out in the first. Put all your money on it because the shit's gonna happen. There's nothing.
The Clippers and the Lakers is definitely taking L.
Nothing. Not happening. Oh, boy. We gonna transfer to the East, and I like what Clutch said. My worst nightmare actually came to fruition in the first round. We got the Pistons. So my hometown Knicks, we got the Pistons. And look, Pistons ain't nothing to play with. If you watch them boys play, they playing with house money because they have nothing to lose, and you watch them play. They don't give a fuck. Okay, whatever. There's nothing that really can happen, and that's the worst team I think you want to match up with in an opening round that has nothing to lose. And the Knicks, on the other hand, third year in a row, we're the same team with two different players. We haven't gotten any better. Hart is too streaky. He can't hit the side of a piss bucket if you paid him to. So it's like all the perfect ingredients for a disaster, and I just have a feeling she's going to be a disaster. But I'll open up the floor to any one of you gentlemen. Who do you see in the first round as a team to watch or a team not to watch, like my Knicks in the first round?
Stop being petty. Stop being petty. I see what you're doing. He said Knicks. You know why he laughing too.
Come on, Duck.
So it's a little joke on the pod where I don't know why they think that I'm being a jerk about it, but I'm not. I always say shout out to the Knicks. Because I'm happy for them. I understand that the Knicks have been horrible since the 70s. So I'm here to be doing good. I say
you're right.
They think I'm being an ass about it. I'm not. I'm being
Duck, I just met you. I think you really being, excuse me, friend, being an asshole right now. Because look, we know because we know shout out to the Knicks. We know what that means. I say shoot. We know what that means. But that's cool though. It's cool.
Duck a heel. He know he a heel too. Him and Ray both the heels, and he know it. That's why he laughing. He know.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll survive. We'll survive another 50 years and no championship. It's okay.
Yo, see what I'm saying? I'm really rocking for y'all.
Yeah, I'm rocking for us too. Some bullshit. Way to go. Damn, I'm sorry, Clutch. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. No, I was gonna say that The Pistons, I agree with you. The Pistons are a physical team, and that's a problem that's going to be an issue when there's people that's getting in your face, and that's going to make it difficult for you. And I think that oftentimes when the Knicks, when they're on shooting threes, they're unbeatable. But when them 3 shots ain't falling, they still settle for the jumpers. I know what I'm going to get from Jalen Brunson. I know what I'm going to get from Karl Anthony Towns. But I'm going to need, hell, even OG to an extent. I know what he originally was assigned in for. But I just going to need Michael and, like you said, Josh Hart to do what they need to do. But also the bench is going to have to step up too. And that's the biggest issue that the Knicks had all season. Is they don't have really a bench.
And no reason why that we don't have a bench. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this too. Tom Thibodeau needs to be fired. We've seen this everywhere he goes. First 2 years, he maxes out. He burns players out. We don't have a bench because he doesn't play the bench. He's a veteran guy. We've seen it everywhere he goes. It's time for a change. And until that happens, we're going to be stuck in the same place that we are because we know we don't match up well with Boston nor Cleveland because they've smoked us all season. So we're not even going to play that game. So like I said, if we get this first round victory and we get this dub in the first round, I know a nice spot in Cancun that the Knicks can go to. They've been there the last couple of seasons. They can just go ahead and go back. It's good fishing. It's good sun, and that's where we're headed. And Sam, I see you back. I know yes, what do you feel when you look at the East?
Well, I mean, I said it before. I think like to beat a man, you got to beat the man. So I mean, I think everything starts and ends with the Celtics. But I mean, I still wouldn't count out nor negate any of the other teams that are out there. But I just really feel like Boston is your forefront. They're in the forefront right now. Maybe Milwaukee, but they have their issues with Dame being injured, and they really haven't rebounded since the trade for Dame as well too. So
yeah, they got that bum Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, that bum. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. He's a bum. I just keep it real. And remember, Ron, whatever you do not bet on this guy or anybody else that plays with them because they're terrible. Okay, just stay away from anything. Stay away from anything like that. Okay.
All right.
So here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Been another great conversation of 2 mics up, with our friends from Let Me Talk podcast. But before we go, gentlemen, I gotta ask something because this is something that friends of mine, we was at work. I mean, it was one of the downtime at work, and we ain't had nothing else better to talk about. But I want to ask you, like, when you talking to friends or family member, like we all have different ways of saying goodbye, and I want to be more specific. What's one way that when you getting off the phone, Clutch must have a good one. Well, how do you say goodbye when you getting off the phone? And I start with you, Clutch, because you look like you having too much damn fun. So share it.
Hey, listen, I just put my phone on airplane mode and let the say call fail. I don't even say bye. Because unfortunately, I got people, and again, I love the people I surround myself with, but sometimes they just keep going and going and going. I'm like, listen, wrestling is on TV right now, so I'm like, it's time to go. I just be like, oops, my Wi-Fi. I'll call you tomorrow, and that's that.
Yo, I mean, Clutch like the lead. He hits it with the Okay, are we still talking? Or am I sitting there a lot of times just kind of feeling a little confused as to what the hell is going on? But I don't know. But Ron, how do you say goodbye?
If I'm genuinely getting off the phone, I'll hit you with a see you later. I catch up with you, things like that. But if I got to go, my wife calling. Oh man, man, my friend done wasted juice.
Everybody got that one.
There's an excuse going on if I gotta get up off the phone. My son done wasted juice. My daughter fell. My wife calling. Oh, that's my mom. I'll call you back. But if I'm genuinely getting off the phone, it's hey, I'll see you later. I'll talk to you later. Have a go. I catch up with you.
That's fair enough. I miss having young children around. That was the go-to. And now my wife and I, is this her and I? And a lot of times she do be talking to me, and I still don't answer now. So it's been 30 years. I guess she get used to it, and I get used to it. But hey, Sam, how about you, bro?
I either say one, bet, or out. Out is
Yeah.
just my military moniker. All right, I'll holler at you later, out.
Yeah.
Or hey, bro, I get back with you. All right, now one.
Yeah.
So keep it short and simple.
Yeah.
I need to try the airplane mode though, Clutch. That's genius right there.
That is
It
pure genius.
hasn't let me down yet. I'm telling you.
Pure genius, man. Pure genius. Hey, I'm the same way. I look, I'm New York. I'm like, all right, I hit you up. Peace. Later. One. Whatever. I like to keep it short and simple. Like I said, but I just wanted to just see what we all do, when it's time to clock out, from our friends and our family. And we about to clock out from today's conversation, ladies and gentlemen. It's been another episode of Two Mics Up, and I want to thank again, Clutch. Now I'm just gonna start calling you Duck. You ain't Ron no more. You just Duck.
Listen, everybody knows you Duck.
All right, so look, before we go, okay, how does Duck fit into Ron Morrison? Like, how does that fit?
So it's the whole thing. So the whole name is Duck Goes Bang. Duck because of my last name. My last name is Mallard.
Okay.
The Goes Bang part, it's a horrible story, but like it comes from a drunk freestyle battle in a PlayStation party chat. And I use Duck as a gun reference as one of my bars. And it was like,
something gets better.
My Duck Goes Bang. And Duck Goes Bang has stuck with me ever since then. So
okay.
Horrible freestyle line in a rap battle.
Hey, you became a legend though. You got a legendary name. Now you got a legendary nickname. That's what's up. That's what's up.
His heel arc. That's his villain
yeah,
arc.
I bet. Yeah, it's something, man. It's really something. You guys, man, are the best, man. I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to sit here with Sam and I and really bring some new life and some new energy. It's great talk. Before we go, Sam, I got to give you last word, man. What's going on? What you got happening? Because I want to make sure that all of you, whether you watching this live or now, I see you in the background, or if you catch this on the replay, check out Let Me Talk Podcast. Check out my brother Sam Adams, co-host here on Two Mics Up. Sam, any last words?
I ain't got much. Watch WrestleMania. Give us your feedback. Let us know what you think and everything. Do you think that it's going to live up to the hype, if there is any, or do you just think that it's going to be okay, like the rest of us? Other than that, everyone, y'all just keep on keeping on.
Hey, well, there you have it. Yeah, that, like Sam said, keep on keeping on. I'm your humble host, Damon Cunningham. You are watching Two Mics Up, Mic'd Up Mayhem, King's Corner edition. Sam and I sit down every Friday, man, just having some fun. You can follow Two Mics Up on social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Two Mics Up. Online at www.twomicsup.com. 4-time award-winning talk show, real talk, dope guests, brand new episode, celebrity talk show Monday night with Ryla McIntosh on my own streaming channel, Infusion TV, powered by the Mogul TV Global Network, #1 network for positive programming. Please check it out, subscribe and watch. Drop us a comment. Want to hear from you. And you have a new podcast to check out, a whole new member to the family. Let Me Talk. Again, appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
y'all
like we
for
do,
Appreciate
of course.
Appreciate it.
Anytime, you're always welcome to come back, man. Anytime you want to come back.
And same here with our podcast. Y'all can pull up, talk. Hey, we always here. Just
Appreciate it, bro. I
Yeah,
really
those
do.
archive episodes.
Okay. Okay. And there you have it, y'all. We're going to get on out of here like we do at the end of each and every segment. I'm going to leave you all with 3 things. May you all stay safe, stay blessed. Mike's out. Friday night